In this video, I am going to show you how to set up your main navigation for your website. So regardless of which route you take in styling and layout of your website, whether it's Route 1 or Route 2, with page builders, the default built-in functionality of WordPress will be the same for setting up menus. So WordPress has a certain way they like to set up menus and organize them, and that is pretty much going to be the same no matter what theme you have or what page builder you're going to use. It all kind of works the same. So we're going to walk through how WordPress menus work in this video and get you set up on that. So to start, we're going to jump into our WordPress admin and come over here to Appearance and Menus. So this is the menu page. Right here is kind of where you can edit the pages in your menu. Now there are multiple different menus that you can make in your website. Now, depending on how many menus your theme supports will kind of depend on how many menus you're editing here. So I can create however many new menus I want here. I can create it, give it a name, so footer or header, and then do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go back here because I don't want to do that. But you can create as many as you want and then come over here to the Manage Locations tab and set where they appear. So the theme that I have right now has a primary menu, a footer menu, and a very top bar menu. So I am not too familiar with this theme, but I'm assuming the primary menu is referring to up here. The footer menu will appear obviously in the footer here. And then the very top bar, I would think is going to be up here that I just don't have right now. So let's go ahead and edit a menu. So right now I am editing the primary menu. In the primary menu, we have home and blog. Those are the two pages in our primary menu. So to edit those, let's say I don't want the blog in there because I don't actually have a blog section set up. So I'm going to click on this down arrow and click on the red remove, and that gets rid of it. Now, if I wanted to add that back, I can come over here to the Add Menus Items sidebar, and it will allow me to either add a page, a post, custom link, or a category. So that blog page was a blog page, I believe, so I can click on that blog page and add it to the menu, and it appears there. If you want to add a different page, just select however many you want. I created a few default pages here, so we can kind of play around with this, and I'll add those, and you can see they all appear here. Let's go ahead and save it, and you'll see those appear in my menu now. Now, they're not appearing down here, or at least not in the same order, because this is a different menu. But let's say I want to rearrange these. So let's say I want to put prices at top. Home, I don't think I even want because the logo will take you home. And I think about, I want second. Now, the other thing with dragging these around is you can actually create drop menus by just clicking and dragging these. So if I want contact to be under about, I select that one, I drag it to under about. Now, this little gray dotted box, if you can see that below the contact one, will define whether this is a drop down or not. If I drag it right here, that's not a drop down. But if I move that a little to the right, it will set it indented, and that means this is a drop down sub item of about. It will say actually sub item to indicate that this is a drop down. So if I save that, come over here, refresh, you'll see about is now a drop-down menu, and you can click on that and it'll take you there. You can even click on about, it'll take you to the about page. So let's go back home and come back over here. So that's how you create drop-downs in here. Let's say I want to change the name of prices to be something else. You can click on the drop-down arrow, highlight the navigation label to be, let's just say more info. And that will change the name of just this link. Now, it's not going to change the name of the actual page. I'll save it here, refresh, and you'll see it's more info. If I click on that, the page name is the same. Just the link is what we changed. So it says more info. I'm going to change that back to prices so I don't confuse myself. Another option. So in each menu, you also get an ability to auto add pages. So if I select this, it will automatically add any new top level pages to this menu. So any new pages I add that are a top level, it will automatically add to the menu. Typically, I leave that off because it kind of confuses you. I like to have complete control over what's in here. So if that's selected and I'm putzing around and adding new pages and don't realize it's going to get added to there, it kind of screws up stuff. So I suggest leaving that off. But below that is a display location. Like I said before, under manage locations, this is just another area you can set that. You can define where this appears. So right now I have it set in that header menu. Let's say I want it also to be the footer menu and those to be the same exact menu. So if I save that, refresh, you'll see this footer menu change to be that new menu. Now, one thing to note is that about, that's not a dropdown. It's only a dropdown in this header. That's because this theme, how it has the menu set up, it doesn't support dropdowns in the footer, only in the header. That's something you'll just have to look at on a theme by theme basis and read the documentation. A lot of them will not support that. One other thing to note too, this plus button here, you can apparently add different icons with this theme. So if I select that, refresh, you'll see that has an icon now. That is specific for this theme. So if you have a different theme, you might not see this plus button. That is not a built-in WordPress feature. Everything else I'm taking you through is built in, will be the same for every theme, but that plus button is not. But let's say I want to add a link up here to an external site where they can get more information. So obviously that site's not going to show up under your pages. You're going to want to come to custom links and you can add that URL here. So let's say I want to link to Google and we'll title that Google. I'll add it to the menu. It appears here. I'll drag it to the top, save the menu. If I come back here, there's Google. If I click on it, it'll take me straight to Google. So that's kind of a high level look at menus and kind of how those are set up. Now, because you're setting the navigation order and layout and links here, that will give you the ability to kind of select different things here. So definitely in each of your themes, if you have different menus available, pay attention to that. Create specific menus for each one so that this one supports one for the footer. So I'll create one for the footer and put just those two in there. Save that, apply to the footer, save it, and refresh. You'll see that down there. So that's just a good way to do it for the UI and kind of makes it a little better since you can have more control over that. So that's pretty much it for menus. Next, I will take you through widgets and how to kind of set up different things in the footer and the header depending on what kind of theme you have installed.